This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Coming up, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. But first time for a few emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
As we jump right into the birthday requests, I want to wish a happy 4th birthday to my son, Andy. So can he get the monster? And all three of you talking all over each other about his favorite show, Paw Patrol. That from Jay in Idaho. Oh, let's see. Paw Patrol. I'm not sure what episode or season you're on, but I'll tell you one thing.
I hated that show.
Ryder's dogs are all poisoned with knives.
Things into the freaking world.
German Shepherd who's the police officer. He's
but somebody did point out to me, you can find comedy if you consider that
poison him.
Save a
show's
city.
over.
How incompetent everybody.
They're all
He's working
dead.
on stuff.
Happy birthday.
I don't think I've ever seen an episode of that.
Oh, my God.
Don't watch season 10. Ryder and they all get poisoned.
Oh. They don't get poisoned, dude. They get rabies.
They get poisoned.
It's rabies.
My nephew got a little Paw Patrol electric bike for Christmas or his birthday. Yeah, it was Christmas, and it just does the Paw Patrol theme over and over and over and over and over.
I can't
and over
explain.
again.
The only show I hated more than that was Peppa Pig. But with Peppa Pig, somehow
Why'd you hate Peppa Pig?
I got sucked into the Peppa Pig Live at the
Adventure Bay's gone.
At the Paramount Theater or something like this. And this is what was more irritating about it. Right? So I already don't want to go to this. Kids, it's the first time I thought to myself, parenthood sucks. Not because you got to buy stuff for them or feed them or they have an attitude or they puke or they pooped on. But I have to go to Peppa Pig Live. But I go to Peppa Pig Live, and this dude rolls up to me and goes, "Hey, man, are you throw for the men's room?" I said, "I am." He goes, "Do you want to upgrade your seats?"
Oh, lucky you.
They were great seats, man. It was mezzanine, dead center front row. And I took his tickets, but I looked at him and said, 4 days ago, Alice in Chains played here. I didn't see you that day. I'm just saying.
Going to squeeze onto the side of the stage. Guys, can you have the Dirty Germans tell Roto Jesse what they're going to do to him on the pool table tonight? Followed by your penis is too small. Thanks, guys. That from Tim.
Yeah, it's quite simple. They're going to drop balls in 8 holes.
Yeah, it's my favorite parts of the pool game is when you put a little of the blue stuff on top of the tip, and then you get to blow it off, and then you put the stick between your hands. It glides in and out. Yeah, so you call it pool. We used to call it docking.
Oh, no. Hold the bitches. May the 4th be with you. Since my friends don't email, here I am celebrating my 36th today and eager to see our Sounders take home the CCL Cup tonight.
Come on.
Well, let's see. Can I get a roof that don't leak? And maybe the captain and Coach Ted could do a collaboration and hype everyone up for the Sounders game. That would be great. Cheers, guys. That from Dan.
She got a roof that don't leak.
Oh, hey there. Obviously, I'm voting for the Seattle Sounders to be the first MLS team to win it, but also I enjoy the fact that if you play soccer, you don't care if those balls are black or white. A little of both will do you good. Crunchberries.
That freaky little captain doesn't even know what a realistic soccer ball looks like anymore. Looks a big one. A lot of people saying it's a big effing deal. Gar said it. Marchand said it. I'd like to say it, but the FCC won't let Coach say it. What are they going to have, 67,000 in there tonight?
Yep.
Rocking. We're going to be rolling.
Seats.
Oh, I was there in 19 when we won a cup. Come on, boys.
Patolas, want to wish a happy birthday to my wonderful wife, Stephanie. She has been giving me crap about being in my 40s for a few years. Today she gets to join me. We've both been fans of the Men's Room for years, and Bad Joke Friday helped spark our relationship, believe it or not. So I have an original face sandwich, some green beans, and the Dirty Germans talking about adventures after 40. Thank you, guys, and keep up the fabulous work. That from Scott.
Two Oregon fish sandwich.
Green bean.
Green bean.
By the way, the green bean t-shirts from the men's room is available now in the Rock Shop at KISW.com. Get yours now. You'll get it before we do.
Yeah, you're wondering about these adventures that you will have over the age of 40. All of them will happen in the bedroom. Suddenly you don't mind Western oil and a bowling pin.
Yeah, it's the best part about the adventures over 40 is the ice down after.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think I'm kidding. I was adventuring this weekend. Nothing hurt ever since.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Oh, thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails. What do we got here? Souvenirs.
Woo! Souvenirs.
From yesterday's question, guys. While watching Tiger play a practice round at Chambers Bay for the U.S. Open, I was inside the ropes for work. And when he got done hitting shots from every tee on par 3, the number 9, he threw his tee to the ground. Went and found that little sucker. Have pictures for proof how close I was to Tiger Woods. That's very cool. That from Whitney. Subject: planes, trains, and automobiles. Oh, Macholas, I'm catching up on the podcast on the Odyssey app. The topic you guys were talking about was basically transportation. I once had a Harley Fat Boy. My wife and I rode to Clearwater, Florida, and spent the day having lunch and spending quality time together. When we left, we had plans to meet up with my buddy and his girlfriend in Plant City. As we were riding on I-4, a truck hauling a washer and dryer got on the interstate, and eventually he pulled into the left lane where I was. Not long after, he was in front of me. Both the washer and the dryer fell off of his truck, going 85 to 90 miles an hour, because that's how fast I was going on my bike. That is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
I saw those things fall off and fall into 1,000 pieces in front of me. I saw this, and all I could do was slow down and do my damnedest to avoid everything. It was like a video game. Anyway, after all that, we decided to go home and put the Fat Boy away and stay home. Love you, bitches. That from Carlos, who listens to us in North Carolina. Positive news. Hola, Macholos. The positive thing that happened to me in the last year was that my wife and I were selected to adopt a little 2-year-old boy. It was a long, difficult journey, but ended up with us getting the perfect little kid. Thanks, guys. That from Eric in Kansas City, who says, P.S. Mike, you should have come to my tailgate in Kansas City.
I wanted to, man.
I'm not mad. I'm just really, 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 really disappointed.
I'm mad and I'm disappointed too. I wanted to go. Trust me. I truly did want to go, and I plan to go back there soon, and I'll take you up on that one.
Was he hooked it up like with the food and all that?
Oh yeah, he's to come on down. You come on right in.
You fool.
I know.
Tell him what you did before the game, Mike.
Should I really?
Yeah, tell him about your exciting tailgate.
What did you do?
There was an exhibition that was taking place at the Union Station that was right outside of our hotel, that the only open slot that they could get was Monday before the game at noon. I thought it would be done soon enough for me to go on over there to go take part in the tailgate, but we spent 4 hours in the Holocaust Museum exhibition that was taking place at the Union Station.
That is the kind of pick-me-up I like before a football game.
Yeah, I know.
You went to the Holocaust Museum, which is a respectable thing to do.
Yes, it is.
Before you went to look.
Miles, it was literally the only time that they had available.
Look. I'm just saying.
I know.
That is so sad.
I know.
And then you have to go to... That is...
I'm
Then
aware.
he went to a football game.
I did.
Right, where you're supposed to be up and happy.
Okay,
but after seeing that, you couldn't have been in the best mood.
This
surely we're not hungry.
No. This,
I mean, I know you had to be sick to your stomach, and then you go to...
It was...
You miss out on the best tailgating experience in the NFL.
I did, Miles.
I mean, it's ranked every year as arguably the best tailgate.
I know.
Green Bay Packers are up there, but Kansas City always wins.
I know.
The Holocaust Museum.
This trip was fueled by my lady's love for the Chiefs, and she wanted to go to Kansas City to see it. She also has a deep passion for older history, as well as terrible things that have happened.
Because I know for a fact Christians don't give a damn about the Old Testament. So there's no way it was anything to do with that.
So I saw it there. We had to do it. We checked it out, and the only time that they had available was then.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because it's right before a football
There you
game.
go. Okay, I thought we were going to go in there, spend an hour in there. There was going to be some things that we could read, some artifacts that we could look at. Cool. This was a guided audio tour that we spent all 4 hours in there, and it felt like an hour and a half.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I believe it's spectacular.
it was spectacular, but if there was any other time, I would have gone to that doggone tailgate.
Oh, yeah.
Kids, we're going to do two things. We're going to Disneyland, but first, right before that, Going to the Holocaust Museum.
Jesus.
Just
I'll
to
be back,
get you in
man.
the mood.
I will be back.
I travel for a lot of sports, and I love history. You don't combine.
I know, man.
I mean, you look. You if you're walking through something, go, you're in St. Louis, the Arch, cool.
If it was the Arch, we'd say cool. I didn't expect to spend that much time in there.
I want to go where Clark Griswold's rims were stolen.
Right.
I mean, just the Holocaust is just such a serious, sad thing.
Why would you do that on Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, my God.
Or the Sunday game? Who were they playing?
It was a Monday night game.
It was the Monday night game.
It was a Monday night.
It was a Monday night game against the Giants.
Oh, my God.
And it was close. It was a great game. I met a friend. I still talk to him to this day.
Yeah.
Well, you could have had a tailgate.
I know. And I wanted to have the tailgate.
Was he Jewish? The guy you met? Did you meet him in the Holocaust Museum?
No, I met him at the game.
I know Josh now.
I mean, he could be Jewish. I wouldn't put it past a guy.
I'm
But
just saying. Okay. All right. Phew. Coming up, we'll drink and we'll tell us for the shot of the day. But first.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Team McCall Hill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least.
I know.
Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Man, oh man. Have Mike plan your bachelor parties.
I know.
Where are you going, guys? We're going to Poland.
I wanted to go.
We're going to Auschwitz.
Just, God damn. Respectable, poorly timed.
I know.
That's all. Yeah, so
I got to be honest with you. If I was in D.C., I don't know that I'd even tell somebody to go to the Smithsonian before they're going to a nighttime sporting event.
Nothing. You don't go to the wall and then go to a comedy.
Yeah, that's what it's the Vietnam Wall Memorial before we
we'll
Laugh Factory.
We'll start doing some touchdowns and, you know what I mean, doing shots at the bar.
It was there for a temporary amount of time. If it was something that was just there, we'd have just gone to the tailgate. We'll hit it up next time. This thing is like a moving tour thing.
Did
that
you
they got
look
going
to
on.
see if it's coming to Seattle?
Yes, and I think it had already been through here.
Okay. All right. That's why I'd have been like, look, we got to go a different time.
Did you plan it before you went or that week?
No, we literally got to the hotel and I was like, oh, damn, look at that over there. We should go do that because I know that you like this history. And then we looked it up because we talked to the guy at the bar and he was like, oh, you need to, if you didn't buy those tickets, you might not be able to go. This was literally the only spot that we had.
I know. Sorry, babe. I know. Maybe next time. Not this time.
We had a lovely time.
Okay, yeah. That's how they describe it. So, we got 3 stories as always. We have a bit of a pervert out there, although to be fair, where he chose to be a pervert is a place you should expect perverts. Then we have a sheriff's volunteer in Florida that's not acting very sheriff-like. And then we stay in Florida where, well, sometimes identical twins, they can have fun together. This is not one of those stories. But let us start. Goddamn, all 3 stories are in Florida. So let us start, in Florida, where a 35-year-old man in Florida named Adam Smith, he's facing charges after he FaceTimed random strangers and started pleasuring himself when they picked up. 3 different people went to the cops, but he probably did it to more people than that. One victim said that when they answered, he was completely naked and squatting in front of his camera. Squatting. Now, the person managed to take a screenshot of him before he hung up that showed some of the tattoos that he had. Well, cops traced the calls back to him. They arrested him last week, and he admitted he'd been calling random numbers and doing it for at least the past 2 months. He's facing felony charges for indecent exposure and obscene communication. He also got busted for indecent exposure a few years ago after he pulled up next to a woman in his car and exposed himself.
What is, Ted, maybe you remember this. I cannot remember what it was.
Chat roulette?
Yes. Chat roulette. That was
guaranteed penis.
Yes.
So,
but this guy's making calls to you, right?
I understand that, but okay. I do
Chat
remember.
roulette, there's an understood risk because you've entered it. You're just answering your phone.
This, you go, someone's FaceTime calling me, and there's a naked man squatting.
It's like when you're scrolling on your Twitter, Miles, and then all of a sudden there's porn that's showing up there. Like, you kind of accept that you're going to get what people post on there.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
And we stay in Florida, where one of the challenges of drug dealing, of course, it's establishing a place of business that's both discreet and convenient. And this guy, he had an interesting take on how to handle that. 69-year-old man in Florida named David Roberts. He was a volunteer with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and he was caught last week selling prescription pills out of a patrol car while in uniform. Now, the county started an investigation after talk got out that an officer was, in fact, selling oxys, and they found pills in one of the patrol cars. He was busted by an undercover deputy. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says he was livid when he found out, and he added, quote, I'm hotter than a bare butt on a tin roof in August. That is an actual quote. Now, David was arrested on weapons and drug trafficking charges, and there's a minimum mandatory sentence of 15 years for the drug charge. He also had marijuana and firearms with him at the time of his arrest. The sheriff said that David had been a volunteer for 12 years. He should not have been cleared to begin with because he'd been a convicted felon from 52 years ago. He was arrested for burglary when he was 19. So there you go. Kind of a volunteer cop selling drugs. And one more in Florida. Everyone likes a good, fun, twin hijinks story. This seems like the good twin, evil twin story. A 64-year-old man in Florida named Wayne Bowen. He was sentenced to 2 years yesterday after he was caught using his twin brother's identity to steal $72,000 in military benefits over the last 8 years. He was finally caught earlier this year, and he initially claimed that he and his brother both served the U.S. Army together, but he later admitted that only his brother served. And it was an evil plot. In order to snake the benefits, he used his brother's information to get a Florida ID under his brother's name, then used that with his military discharge papers to apply for federally subsidized housing benefits. Wayne's brother, also known as the Good Twin, he lives in another state. He told the authorities he did not give Wayne permission to use his name. In addition to serving time, the evil twin will need to pay $63,000 in restitution. So we have the man in Florida that randomly FaceTimes people when he pops up. He's masturbating on camera. We have the sheriff's volunteer in Florida who's been selling drugs out of his vehicle. And finally, the evil twin in Florida that used his brother's ID to collect military benefits.
Okay.
It's kind of tough.
I don't think so.
All right.
Okay, and here's why. If you want drugs, you're going to find drugs. Sure. There's going to be someone out there who is going to sell you drugs. Now, in this case, the guy was a police officer. But he was wasn't he already a convicted felon from many years ago?
When he was 19, yeah.
All right. I'm not sure what the vetting process is on that.
I mean, look, he's 64. Okay, he's been doing this for 2 years. So he was 60. Oh, hold on. No. The volunteer cop, he's 69. He's been doing this for 2 years, which means he was 67 when he got... Okay, all right. It was funny he was 19 years old.
All right, come on, I'll give him a pass on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, if you want drugs, you're going to find drugs. Man in Florida, he just likes chilling his goods.
Yes, he does.
I don't know what his deal is, but I mean, if he pulled up beside a woman and was doing it, chilling her, and then just randomly... Because you never know who's going to pick up the phone. You have these numbers.
That's the joy he had.
You just don't understand who's there. I think the guy who stole his twin brother's identity and stole $72,000 in benefits from the United States military over 8 years, that guy sucks the most, without question.
I agree.
That guy is the worst. So I'm going to say...
But the guy in the Florida thing, it's not about people trying to get drugs. Like, you're right. If you want drugs, you can find them. To me, that's a giant... And granted, I get he's a sheriff's volunteer, right?
But you're in a patrol car anyway, right?
Correct. So that's just an egregious breach of trust because, I mean, that's what the police are there for.
Right.
So the fact that he's actually out there...
Doing the exact opposite.
Doing the opposite.
I agree with
that. Look, the Florida guy is a complete pervert. He needs to go to jail for a little bit. I don't have an iPhone, but I'm pretty sure you could still deny a FaceTime.
You could. I mean, you can.
I think out of the three, masturbating guy sucks the least. You saw what you saw. Sorry. But I think you're right. I think the cop's terrible. And I definitely think the guy stole his brother's ID and took $72,000 in military benefits from the U.S. government. It sucks. So.
Oh, yeah. We're just going a different way about it. My apologies. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I can't believe I say this. I think the pervert at this one sucks the least. But you can deny
agree
it.
because he does the least damage, right? Because you can say he stole military benefits. Well, the military and the U.S. government don't have money. We give them money out of taxes. So technically, they hit all of us.
They did.
Right. And that's one of them. Hey, man, I want to be part of your collateral, whatever. The drug dude, you're right. If you want drugs, you can get drugs. But, dude, come on, man. Because other people that are not buying drugs from you might want your help for something that's legitimately going on. And I don't know. So, yeah, penis dude, I think sucks the least.
Which is horrible.
It continues on Who Sucks Last if you follow KISW on Twitter. You are listening to The Men's Room.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming up in just minutes, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines coming up at 5:50. But first, quick check out Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, a new study found that vegetarian children have similar growth and nutrition levels as the other kids, but are underweight by comparison.
Well, yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
Healthier.
Right. But right.
Exactly. They're not packing on near the fats or sugars that non-vegetarian
They had to
kids
do
are,
a study. So a kid that's not eating a bunch of fat weighs less than the average kid, eating meat and all that.
I think the bigger thing of it is that they have similar growth and nutrition levels. Like, obviously, they're going to be a little bit on the underweight side, just like the kid that's eating more of everything else is going to be on the heavier side. But the fact that they are still kind of on track as everybody else is the bit there. There's a new nightly curfew in Rome due to a series of wild boar attacks. We covered that a little bit earlier today.
I just can't wrap my head around this.
No, neither can I. And to be honest with you, as far as the animals that I might encounter at some point in my life, boars scare the devil out of me, man.
Well, that's part of the problem is, they're boars, right? So if you're familiar with wild boars at any level, it's not something you really want to tangle with. But these things are roaming the streets all the time, and then the problem is...
roaming the streets.
Yeah, I know, in Rome, right. So but, it's a major city. You're talking millions of people. So, there's dumpsters everywhere, trash cans everywhere. They're there to eat. And as we're saying now, most of the attacks used to take place at night, but the boards are so used to people, and they realize very few people fight back, as opposed to just get attacked, scream, or run away, that if you walk up to a dumpster, one lady was just saying she's walking her dog poop, she's going to throw her bag in a dumpster. And when she walked around the corner, there's 2 piglets, so you already know it's bad news, and there's Mama. And she tried to run away. This thing just took her down from the back. Her dog did nothing. Yeah. Right, but this is happening all the time, so now there's a curfew, like, hey, 8:30.
It's bad.
Stay inside. That is not the reason you should have to stay in a major city.
I'm packing.
It's got boars. Yeah.
Come on, bacon. McDonald's is bringing back the glazed pull-apart donut for a limited time.
Glazed pull-apart donut.
I was not aware they had that before.
I didn't know that either.
I haven't had it.
It was something that was around for a short time, and if I'm not mistaken, it was not that long ago, but it was basically this cluster of
like a little
6 donuts.
Yeah.
You could pull them apart.
I had the apple fritter today.
They have an apple fritter.
Yes.
Really?
It's just okay.
Yeah, but I'm a fan of the apple
You got to remember, the Pacific Northwest does apple fritters, right?
Sure.
With apple and with pastries.
Yes.
So
East Coast is more frittered than apple.
If you go to Top Pot, if you go anywhere, you're going to get a really... And there's nothing wrong with what McDonald's does. It's just that...
It's McDonald's.
It's like if they had a salmon fillet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We get better salmon here.
McDonald's is going to streamline things that you love to eat, and it's going to have a passing grade. McDonald's has never had the pinnacle of any type.
They're the C student.
I tasted it, and I was like, this is good.
That's right.
It's just not as good as other apple fritters.
It's good enough to get it again at some point in the future, but you are not going to rave about it.
They have a cinnamon bun. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not Cinnabon.
It's McDonald's. You know what you're doing. Like, look, this is the phantom version of the thing I would rather.
And it's exactly what I wanted.
Exactly.
Right. So I was fine with it.
Yeah. Ryan Castle will bring in the cheeseburgers from time to time. I like their cheeseburgers. I will never say that cheeseburger is the best cheeseburger I've ever had.
No. It's good.
And to McDonald's credit, they're like, we know.
Right. Cool.
We know you won't.
Yeah.
We have
When's the last time you went to a restaurant and was like, I'm going to order 2?
Exactly.
They have a two cheeseburger meal.
Boom! There you go. Hell yeah. The new Twitter edit feature could be here later this year.
About time.
Let's go.
By the way, Elon Musk is purchasing Twitter. He hasn't done it yet.
Right. Easy now.
People are all fired up after that news.
Yeah.
I don't care at all.
Well, it's also just not how stuff works.
Right, I know.
Like, people are like, well, this or that or blah, blah, blah. Like, Elon. And it's like, right. And it's weird because it's people on both sides of the Twitter argument. It's like, hey, guys, like, it hasn't gone through.
It hasn't gone through. Do you support capitalism? You don't have to like who buys what. You don't have to like a private company's rules of, 7-Eleven. I want to not wear a shirt. Whatever. Hey, man, it's capitalism, baby. That's how it rolls.
It's okay. Yeah. We're still here, man. We've actually...
And it's Twitter.
Our information portal has actually outrun our ability to be mad at anything anymore. Now we're just mad at everything. No matter what, we got to be mad at it.
And don't make Twitter important.
Right. You know what you can do? Shut it off.
Right. That's all you got to do.
Ta-da. A new study found that boomers are no more likely to believe misinformation than younger people. But they did say that the oldest of the old are more apt to fall for
yes,
those sites, scams and whatnot.
Well, you're going to fall for scams because if your finger's not on the pulse of what's going on, you don't know that people are constantly out to get you. Kind of thing. But as far as misinformation on the news, that's just a matter of your intellect, right? You can be old, you can be young. Dumb is dumb.
Exactly.
There's nothing to do with that.
Gentlemen, what day is today?
May the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Rev's birthday, that's
Rev's
right.
birthday.
Yeah, we forgot to wish Rev a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rev.
Happy birthday,
We
man.
saw him outside.
We did wish him then.
And I told him, I said, of course, your birthday is May the 4th. You're actually goddamn Baby Yoda.
I say the same thing every doggone year. Like, it is so apropos that Rev's birthday is on this day, the May the 4th.
Nobody should have been born on May the 4th except Rev.
So in honor of that, our friends over at Mental Floss actually put together a list of 65 facts about Rev's birthday that actually might surprise us here.
Specifically about Rev's birthday.
Rev's
I like
birthday.
that.
Is this like facts about May 4th, or is this going to be nerdy stuff?
No, this is Rev's birthday, man. So this is going to be nerdy stuff. So
Why do you already sound angry?
Because Ted's not going to care about a damn thing on this list.
I will say this: if a coyote ate or attacked a Star Wars character, then I'm back on Team Coyote.
Okay, Coyote attacks Baby Yoda.
Team Coyote.
Really? I thought he's your boy. I thought you were down with Baby Yoda.
SNL
He's
Baby
cool.
Yoda's his boy.
Oh, but he can be eaten by a wolf.
Yeah, boy. And trust me, one of those coyotes would attack Baby Yoda.
They would.
Maybe they'd regret that.
They would find a way to lure the Mando out, and then bam, Baby Yoda's right there all by himself. And then he'd force choke him.
He'd force their ass, yeah.
Did you see the trailer for the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing?
No, I haven't.
Kind of got me fired up.
I've been trying to avoid trailers because I want to go into these movies that I know are going to be at least decent. I want to know nothing when I go in there.
Spoiler alert, he dies in the end.
Son of a bitch.
And it's a series on Disney.
Yay.
It's a new show.
I'm a fan. Okay, so here are the 10 facts about Star Wars that might surprise you. Number 10, Peter Mayhew, who you might know as Chewbacca, but he was cast as Chewbacca primarily because of, you know what, Thrill, I'm pretty sure you know like all these facts. Do you know why they chose him for Chewbacca?
Yes, because he's a monster.
That's exactly right.
Well, he's a monster, but you know where he was spotted?
No.
In,
Pacific Northwest.
A Clockwork Orange. So
Really?
there's a scene in the Clockwork Orange where toward the end of the movie, there's an older guy that is a caretaker. The caretaker is David Prowse. But in one of the scenes in the movie, David Prowse stands up and carries this old man, like either the bed or the sofa or whatever.
Okay.
And he's just such this massive presence compared to anyone else on the set. So when George Lucas said, well, I need a really big guy, I want the David Prowse guy. And also, they liked his posture when he
You're talking about Peter Mayhew?
Sure.
Peter Mayhew, sorry.
Yeah.
Peter Mayhew.
Primarily because of his height. 7'3".
Yeah. Right.
You're not kidding. The man's a monster.
And he passed away relatively young because of that.
Well,
he
sure.
passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And he had to pass the baton on to the new Chewie. And he's a man. He had, like, the way you walk, the way you move your head, he's like, apparently this is really well thought. He wasn't just doing stuff. This
Nice.
is, yeah, that's cool.
Number 9, The Force Awakens, which you might know as the first movie of the new generation here, has many cameos. Do you guys know who cameoed in The Force Awakens?
I know Daniel Craig did.
Yep, that's one. He played a stormtrooper. Simon Pegg, who you might know from Shaun of the Dead.
I know, he was the guy. So the chick Ray, when she's on her home planet, there's the guy.
Kind of in charge of the junkyard.
Yeah, you traded the junk. He gave you food. He was the guy that gave food.
And the one I didn't know, so if you know, I want to know who he is. Bill Hader. I love Bill Hader.
Who the hell was
I do
he?
too.
Right? So I'd like to figure
Stefan?
out...
He played Stefan, didn't he?
There's this new place on Tatooine. It's amazing.
I think Bill Burr popped up in The Mandalorian.
He did.
That was cool.
He pops up everywhere, man. He was in Breaking Bad, too. 10 facts about Star Wars that might surprise you. Number 8, a young Han Solo was supposed to be in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Which makes sense, but also that movie had baby Han and or Luke and Leia. So
I'm glad he was not in that.
Yeah. We don't need to pander quite that much.
Right.
So, number 7, Benicio del Toro. Do you know what character he was originally supposed to play?
I know he ended up playing, but is it some iconic character we would know?
Ish, yeah. He was supposed to play Darth Maul.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del Toro was supposed to play Darth Maul. Ted, he was the guy that had his face painted red and black. I know that he was one of your favorites.
Yeah.
He dropped out after most of the lines were cut, but he did appear in The Last Jedi as the character DJ. So, there you go. Yeah.
Wicked.
10 facts about
He
Star
looks
Wars.
like he's from outer space.
He does.
That might surprise you. He really does.
Bill Hader was the voice of BB-8.
No kidding.
Wait, that's a little orange and white ball.
Yeah.
Right? Wait, so what is he just going like beep?
Well, you know, R2-D2 screamed and crap like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I imagine
Didn't Vin Diesel, he's the voice of Groot.
Yeah.
Yep.
How much money do you think he gets paid just to literally say the same
Didn't
thing?
he also do it in different languages?
But he
too?
can remember his lines in that one.
Yes, he can.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Oh, man. Number 6, 11-year-old Warwick Davis was originally an Ewok extra, but he got cast as Wicket after Kenny Baker, who you may know as the one that basically the guy that was in R2-D2.
Yeah.
He got food poisoning.
That's how he got his gig.
Yeah, so your main Ewok dude was actually supposed to be just an extra, but because the guy who was playing R2-D2, who was supposed to be the main Ewok, he got food poisoning, so Warwick Davis took it up.
I wonder how much challenge that is. Like, hey, you were going to be an extra Ewok, but now I need you to step up your Ewok game.
The question is, why did Kenny Baker need to be in that damn thing anyway? Like, what was he doing? He couldn't
controlled
walk.
it.
Right.
Oh, so he was actually in that little controller?
Where that thing went, and like when it dropped the third leg, kind of they gave him all the controls inside.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
That
I
makes
want to
sense.
drive the doggone thing. Like, give me a bigger R2-D2. I want to drive that bad boy.
I mean, but you can't walk into a bar and go like, dude, I'm R2-D2. Like, no, you're not. That's the problem. Peter Mayhew, same thing. Like, I'm Chewbacca. Like, no, you're not.
Okay.
Right.
Warwick Davis is the only Star Wars star that I would like to meet.
Okay. There you
Legend,
go.
that guy. Life's too short. Super funny TV show.
David Prowse walks into a bar. He says, I'm Darth Vader. Say something. And he goes, hi, can I get a gin and tonic? You're not Darth Vader.
Number 5.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Warwick Davis walks in and you're like, this is on.
This is it.
Game on.
Number 5, in early drafts of the screenplay, do you have any idea what they called Yoda, Mr. Hill?
No.
His name was originally Buffy.
Buffy?
Buffy, the Stormtrooper Slayer, which turned into Minch Yoda, then eventually just Yoda.
Buffy. Jesus
Buffy. Another quick
Buffy,
fact here. Another
Buffy, green ass crazy man.
I'm looking for the great Jedi, Buffy. Number 4, George originally wanted Jim Henson to play Yoda.
I know Frank Oz did. It was like Jim Henson's right hand man.
Okay.
As far
so
as
wasn't it Jim Henson that did Yoda?
So it's Sesame Street, the Muppets, all. So
Basically,
those
there's
guys
just
do
a
that.
troupe of puppeteers.
Right.
But Jim Henson and Frank Oz are because Frank Oz is also a movie director, etc. And that is why Yoda sounds like Miss Piggy, because Frank Oz also did Miss Piggy.
And that's why the Dark Crystal seems like a weird Star Wars spinoff.
Yes. Right. God, it's weird. 10 facts about Star Wars that might surprise you. Number 3, Harrison Ford's casting as Han Solo was completely accidental. He was only around to help feed lines to actors that were auditioning, which included a young Kurt Russell. George liked Harrison's delivery the best and put him in the role.
Damn.
Well, that was the right move.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, absolutely.
There you go.
And Kurt Russell has done okay for himself.
Yes.
Number 2, Obi-Wan Kenobi was originally supposed to survive his lightsaber battle with Darth Vader in A New Hope. Spoiler alert, Ted.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
Son of a bitch.
But he gets stronger because of that.
More powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Correct. That was the wrong
He'll
move.
also be dead, homie.
And they were going to name Darth Garth, but they changed it.
Garth
Vader.
Garth Vader.
I've got friends in low places.
Thunder rolls. Garth Vader's here. Thunder rolls. Girth Vader.
Girth Vader.
That's what I'm saying.
Calling Baton Rouge.
And this is the number 1.
You should thank me for unanswered prayers.
Where is Madison Hawthorne? I'm Garth Vader.
You can see his hands. They don't fit in the gloves anymore.
We make for Central Park to put on a show.
I don't know why he turned into Sean Connery there, but he did.
He did a little bit.
Sean Connery there.
Shut up. It's me, Garth Vader.
I'm your father.
All of a sudden, this is turning an SNL skit that makes no sense.
Oh, God.
I shagged your mama, Luke.
We're off the rails. Number 1.
You can call me daddy now.
Don't have English accents. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Bring in a...
George Lucas used real World War II footage of the aerial battles of the dogfights for space battles.
I knew that. He modeled a lot of that. The stormtroopers are modeled after like Nazi Germany.
Right.
That's why they always have the same formations and all. Even the helmets they wore.
Yep.
And the EMP used to have some of those models that they used. That they were doing flyby stuff. Like, you could see, like, the actual models from Star Wars. Like, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Ted, you should have gone.
I think I saw a stormtrooper at the fancy theater that closed.
Fancy theater.
Cinerama?
Oh, yeah.
Probably did.
I would almost guarantee you did.
Residents in Nantucket, Massachusetts have voted for something that's sure to raise tourism.
What is that?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to contest online for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK.